So our mantra for ourselves and for our whole community has been cultivate today, conquer tomorrow. And again, to reiterate, it means, your clients are home, you guys are home, right? Reach out to them, talk to them. Don't start off talking about real estate, right? Talk about them, show you care about them. What can you do for them? Let them tell their stories, right? Cultivate a relationship. When we get out of this, I've done the numbers, guys. We are going to Zoom. Okay. The whole industry is going to Zoom. I've looked at it, 1 million to 1.5 million transactions that will be pent up that you guys versus the competition are going to grab. Okay. Because you guys have been cultivating during this whole time. And today we've been working under the hood, and especially obviously G in our tech team and Barry in our tech team have been working under the hood super quickly, like literally over the last 7 days, they have produced some monster stuff that we are going to be, G, next slide, that we are going to be getting out to you guys. So, I love this quote: innovation is the ability to see change as an opportunity, not a threat. Next slide, G. And this entire presentation is filled with presents for you guys that are innovations we've come up with because of this crisis that we are going to be giving to you guys for free, that will be forever free for you guys. So you're going to have to wait, though. Do not leave. You're going to have to wait. We're over 800. We're 829. We're the over. Barry, you win. You're going to have to wait till the very end of the prez for a really, really awesome present that will have dollar signs on it. You got to wait to the end. Next slide. Again, now is the time to cultivate so that you can conquer tomorrow. As you guys have probably seen, Facebook, social media, Instagram, the usage is going through the charts. It's increased 50% globally. Search volume has gone back to like part of it, its previous strongs. As we're going to go with, G's going to take us through the numbers. The cost to advertise has actually come down because a lot of the competition has kind of gone away. And so we want you guys in the Ylopo community to pat yourselves on the back that you have Ylopo, to say, oh my God, I've got new cool virtual tools. So if I have to work with a particular buyer that wants to work with me virtually, if I have to work with a seller that wants to work with me virtually, I've got the tool set to do this and do business now. If they want to, right? You're not going to be too pushy, but if they want to now. And honestly, I think it's going to change the game forever, right? I think it's going to change the game forever. And I think more and more people are going to be doing things virtually. And we're going to keep innovating, right? And keep developing stuff, right? So this crisis has caused us to innovate for you guys. It's going to cause you guys to innovate for your clients. And I think ultimately it's going to be really, really cool. So both statistically, the numbers, empirically, and anecdotally, we know that the consumers are home and they want to talk. They are ready, willing, and able to talk. Next slide. So G, can you start off? Let's take a look at the actual quantitative numbers.
Yeah, sounds great, guys. Yeah, it's been a really interesting month, guys. The trends across the board on the digital marketing side has been very interesting. And in a nutshell, we have seen all of the innovation really zoom. The first thing I wanted to point out is that both on lead generation and on remarketing, we continue to see a trend. And I know we mentioned this on the last webinar, but that trend has only continued. At this point, the cost per 1,000 impressions, which is basically what you pay Facebook to advertise, has dropped to an all-time low that is 17% lower than even the same period in the earlier of the March timeframe, right? So even from the low point, which I already saw in the first 2 weeks of March, the last time we did a webinar, we've had a further 17% drop. We have also had a drop of 19% on what it costs for a consumer to click on your advertisement, which is, in my opinion, a good representation of the interest from the consumer for homes related content. And ultimately, what that means for you is that your average cost per generated lead is almost below $4, which is about the lowest that we've seen, about matching what was the level of cost per lead in January, which is typically the cheapest time of the year, right? So, again, to all of you guys who are advertising, this has been a great opportunity to develop new relationships and nurture the existing relationships. Let me go a little further and talk about a couple of areas. The first is remarketing. When I talk to a client and they're saying, hey, look, I've got to drop my spend because of the coronavirus, first thing I say is totally understand, and you should do what's responsible for your business. But my recommendation is that if you drop your new lead generation budget, you absolutely should maintain some portion of your remarketing budget to make sure that your advertisements, your brand stays front and center for everyone in your database until this crisis passes. And what we're seeing on the remarketing side is just in the last 2 weeks, we have had 15.6 million times your advertisement has shown on Facebook, which is a almost 30% increase from Q4 in 2019. And it is by far the highest on record. Overall, your remarketing costs have dropped by 18%. We have seen it in a 13% increased engagement on your home search site versus 9%. And at this point, to get a consumer to come back to your home search website to view content, it costs less than 10 cents per time they come back to the site, right? So that means that if you spend $100 on remarketing, you are getting 1,000 times people are coming to your website to visit. That's incredible, right? And that's going to support your growth in the future.
And one thing, this is one of the questions in the Q&A, and I think it really deserves highlighting. The number of users using Facebook's free tools has almost gone up 50%, according to that blog post I read by the vice president. And their ads, people running ads, has gone down. So there's more eyeballs and less people spending money on Facebook right now. And so somebody asked, why are the ads going down if there's more people? And short answer is that's why. But for me, I mean, it was as late of last night, I decided, I was like, you know what? Facebook is such a great opportunity. And I repurposed my budget to go towards Facebook because there's so many eyeballs right now on that platform. So this is a great opportunity to gain market share.
100%. Yeah, I think the way I would think about it if I were clients is, we've had a lot of clients shift from, Facebook to Google, for instance, right? And why? It's because they're looking for a more downstream lead. And of course, the most downstream and the most expensive lead type are leads from the portals, right? But bottom line is, if you're not doing a lot of deals with buyers over the next 90 days, what are you doing? You're nurturing leads, right? So you're going to get a nurture lead, whether it's from the portals, whether it's from PPC, or it's from social. And the cost per lead on the social side is about 2.5 times cheaper than Google. And it is probably 5% of what you would pay for a portal lead. And so this is kind of a time of equalization, right? And where I do think social ultimately is going to win out from an ROI perspective for you. But it's not just what's happening on Facebook. We're seeing this growth across the board. I believe this data is from the last week. In the last week, we had 1.4 million emails that were opened by leads in your database, right? That is by far the most that we have seen in Ylopo history. Open rates for emails have been up 25% for this month. And the click-through rate, the number of people who once they open actually go and see properties, is up 22%. Why are we showing you all this data, right? We want to emphasize to you that this is a better time than any other time for you to be engaging with your leads, because they're engaging with you, right? So if they're engaging with you, this is a great time for you to engage with them back. So Barry, do you want to talk about what we're doing on the automated side to help with this nurture?
Yeah, first of all, on the right-hand side, you guys are going to see what we've done is we've taken 10-day, 20-day snippets of time periods as the crisis has kind of evolved across the country. And, what I want you guys to see is that we quickly adjusted the scripts. We iterated on it. We started with one section, then another. It was like 350, 400 at a time. And so it was a lot of work, but we wanted you guys to be able to be relevant to the consumer. And so if you're looking on the far right, the percentage of conversations that turned into Raya converting the lead stayed consistent since early March or early February. And so, what we were able to do is, somebody says they can't see the screen share. That's strange. I can see it. So on the far right side, you're seeing it was 22.77, then 23, then 21. And so what we did is we didn't avoid talking about the current crisis. That wouldn't be authentic, and it was also somewhat cowardly. And so we wanted to do it in a compassionate and yet relevant way. We took the opinion that for some people that are searching on your site and registering and coming back, talking to someone about real estate might be the only normal conversation they have all day. And we wanted Raya to be an extension of that compassion. Instead of in-person appointments, we switched and went to virtual tours and making that our close. And instead of calling it virtual tours, because I've been an agent for 21 years and virtual tours don't have a really good meaning to me, but live stream virtual 3D tour, the streaming aspect we have found is very compelling because it feels live. And then lastly, we took some of Robbie T's script and then also something that Howard and I were working from a scripting standpoint and helping people to visualize before this event, what were your plans? We're getting them to dream. And what we're finding, and the reason why the Raya is converting at the same percentage is because we're still getting them to dream. And this is the last thing I'll say about this, because I know I don't want to belabor this too much, but this is an example of humanizing your automated artificial intelligence, because what we did was we pivoted around current events to make sure that the communication for your leads and your database was on time, and it's crushing it. So that's I could go on and on, but
yeah. Well, I just want
over.
to say one more thing about this, right? So, I've seen on YSC and I've gotten some messages from people to say, hey, we need to turn off Raya right now and what they'll do is they'll show me one response where someone says, hey, why are you texting me during this time? I don't want to talk to you, right? And I think that once again, just like in the past, when someone says, F you, why are you texting me right now, blah, 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 we tend to use anecdotal evidence instead of like empirical evidence to say, hey, we need to turn this off or we don't need to turn it off, right? We've been looking at the data every single week. We've been adjusting scripts on every single week, and we've only seen a 10% increase in those people who say they're not interested, and the rest of the stats are almost identical, right? So, I don't think, if you guys want to turn it off, we totally understand. That means the burden of engagement is on you, right? But, I would say from the data side and from the changes, probably because of the changes that Barry has made along with the rest of our team, I don't see an argument really for turning off Raya, right?
Hey guys, let's keep moving. But look, we're getting a couple of comments here. We can't please everybody, right? But getting a couple of comments here and getting leads engaged for the first time, multiple times because of the changed scripts. The next one, Raya has been my savior these days. You can try homeschooling 3 kids while running a $30 million business. No way, Jose. Raya is staying on board, baby. Don't turn it off, LOL. Anyway, so you know what? If you want it off, you can turn it off. But for other folks, we're going to talk. Let's look at the stories right now. Okay, let's go next slide. So love this quote from our Ylopo Success Community. Guys, everyone there, ask yourself, am I going to the Ylopo Success Community every day? Because you will gain so much value. Our community, we are approving posts all the time where our community are doing innovative things in the field, right? Whether it's with our tech or just other tech or just doing crazy cool things. If you're not checking the YSC every day, quickly check it to see what's of value, you're missing out. So speaking for myself and hoping to inspire others, I've made 50 to 100 calls per day, one dial at a time to friends, clients, and leads, and the result has been stellar. People appreciate your checking on them. Okay, there was a question about that. You're checking on them. You're not selling them and making sure they have what they need. Real estate secondarily on these calls, but it almost always comes up. I'm finding this personally rewarding. Just do it from Willie was an awesome post. Next slide. Barry, want to take us through this?
Yeah, so this was one of our users, Noah Scott, very active in YSD, and he basically posted concern in the top left corner. He said, look, I'm worried. You know, are we out of touch? We've been shut down. We can't show any homes. G tagged me. He said, hey, what do you think? Now that you've made the changes to Raya, what do you think? And my response was that, you know, the scripts are intended to assume that they don't want to see any homes, that you can offer videos. If the buyer says they're interested, call to discuss a wish list, then search for listings. And it's all about starting the convo and developing a relationship. This is a huge opportunity. And then a few days later, Noah posts and says, Barry, remember when I was worried? I've had 2 great conversations over the past day that solely come about from AI texting. And to dovetail what Howard just said, I would tell you, don't let the fear of bothering a person prevent you from helping people. Let the fear of not helping people with the largest purchase of their life, of missing out on that, let that motivate you instead of the fear of that one guy that got mad at you that one time.
Awesome. Yeah, next slide. We got a little comment here. Good job on hustling to make these changes. Guys, we we dug in and made these changes like right away, and it doesn't mean we can't stop. All right, we're glad to accept input from the community. You can do that on the YSC. You can send it to support. We're always glad to take input. The crisis-sensitive changes to Raya scripting are working. They've been modified to be more sensitive, okay? So Raya said, Jack, this is Chris's assistant with Coldwell Banker, CNC Properties. I was going through our files and don't see where you ever bought a home. Are you still looking in the Reading area? I saw some that you might like. I realize you might have paused your search for a bit due to the pandemic, but we'd like to send a few virtual tours to you to look without having to leave. So, okay, there is that note about, we know you might be slowing down. And, you know, we got a great comment, Chris and Marie. I couldn't stop Raya now. It's been incredibly helpful to me these last 8 days. I'm working with a $409,000 buyer. Keep in mind, my market median price is $300,000. And this was thanks to Raya's text, them, which appropriately addressed the pandemic. See for yourself. The buyer began engaging, and they are now conversing with me about specific properties they're interested in. So guys, it can work. Remember with Raya, okay, there's always like 1 or 2 Raya conversations that can go afield, or somebody says, what are you doing? But don't focus on that. Change your mindset. Do not focus on the 5%, 4%, 3%, 2%, or 1% that go bad. Focus on the 95% that are working, and that takes change your mindset, become positive. Okay, next. We love this comment from Chris, who's been an awesome, member of our YSC. Thanks, Chris. Raya for the win. Nothing like waking up to $925,000 buyers, especially when you've got a seller that you spoke to because of a Ylopo alert that is exactly what they are looking for. So we have the Raya text conversation there. So Chris, keep on pumping in the YSC. Let's go. So you guys need to become a user, a teacher, and a master of virtual real estate. Okay, so now we're going to get into the good stuff. Let's get in. Next slide. Let's get a look at the free new virtual tools. Don't, Barry came up with this. Don't wait for things to go back the way they were. They're not. Use the new virtual tools to stay relevant now and in the future. Next slide.
And I've been hitting with my agents for 2 weeks, Howard, on this, and that we can gloss over that. Listen, if you say to yourself, I don't want to pivot my business or the way that I've done business over the last 24 months because I liked the way I was doing it, it was working, and so I'm just going to wait for this to be over. I want you to understand that you're allowing the market to pass you by. Instead of pivoting quickly, I hope this ends in 2 weeks, but I can't control that. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to pivot the moment my market pivots. And so I made the mistake in 2007. When 2008 hit, I waited for it to be like 2007, and it never came back. So make sure you guys are pivoting to stay relevant to the consumer. And instead of mentioning virtual tools, recommend virtual tools. And that's another nuance I'll touch on later. But don't just say, we can look virtually. No, 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 no. Nobody's looking virtually. Let me show you how to do this. I can send you a link. We can hit it right away. There's a big difference. And so make sure you're doing that. You can tell I'm a little heated on that, but
okay, G, go to Pres mode. Go to Pres mode. You're in.
Yeah, it's because I'm going to show off some of these tools. So let me just kind of stay in this mode for now until we get all of the tools done.
Got it. Okay, so guys, when you see the gold package, when you see the gold present on your screen, boom, we're dropping the first free present to the whole Ylopo community. Let's go.
All right, cool. So guys, this is a prime example of how the community is driving our development. We're being very reactive to seeing what the community says is important and great ideas, and we're executing on it, right? So every one of the things that you're going to see here are things that clients have suggested, and as a result, we have put into practice, right? So I can't emphasize enough, new ideas, things that you've come across on other groups that are effective, post it in YSC, right? Because if we see it, we like it, we think it's something that we can get done quickly, we're going to do it, right? The first such tool is one of our clients, I forgot who, so I apologize. I think it was virtual home buying program, right? This is a program that was put together specifically around how you go ahead and market yourself during this time. And so what we did was, if you go to your domain /virtual-home-buying. I know it's a little complicated, and it's because we want you to be able to edit these pages yourself. What you're going to get to is a landing page we built out specifically for the virtual home buying program, right? Now, we have gone ahead and we have created copy that is, we think pretty darn good, right? For each of the types of virtual services that you can offer, right? But if you have different ideas, you have different phrasing, all that kind of stuff, all you have to do is go into Zendesk in our Ylopo help forum, right? Which is ylopo.zendesk.com, or you can click on the knowledge base inside Ylopo Stars. If you just type in the word virtual, you're going to come to an article that actually shows you exactly how to edit every part of this virtual guide, right? So we think this is going to be a great tool for all of you. It's available right now. And Barry, do you want to talk about how you would recommend agents use this?
Yes, I believe the list is on the next slide, but big idea here is one of the reasons, something my dad has always said is the more difficult problem you solve, the more money you make, right? So when you're looking at more complex and challenging circumstances, you're going to get paid more for that service. And so with the virtual buyer program, one of the things the consumer is going to feel is that I've solved a problem, that they don't want to go through a bunch of strangers' houses right now for reasons that I understand. And, the ability to bring them through the home virtually, not only is it easier for you, but it's solving a problem. And it helps the consumer feel like, there might be a lot going on around me, but man, my agent's got their act together. And so, you can do a call to action for your Diva ads. You can say, we have a virtual buyer program. I think the 2 weeks ago, we adjusted some copy, G, and we saw an increase of about 15 to 20% on engagement and leads just by saying we have a virtual program. It's a unique selling proposition. So if you're looking at two agents and they're all really nice and experienced, but one has a program and one doesn't, you're going to find that buyers are going to work with someone that has a strategy and a program. And then, text for info. I saw this on Jesse Budine's call action group. He's got a text for info. Buy a home safely during COVID-19. Text buy safe to this number to enjoy our free guide to our program. And, these are just different ideas. Another one that I'm super excited about was an idea shared by Laura. And that was that her team ran ads to an open house event. They had people register for the open house event. To enter the open house, a virtual event, it was a Zoom link. When people walked into the Zoom link, the agent just shared their screen. And on their screen was a Matterport 3D tour. The person jumps on the Zoom the same way you are, but instead of seeing a presentation, imagine seeing a property. And we'll go over this later, but in walking through and me telling you, oh, isn't this foyer lovely? And, you know, all these things. And so just a tremendous opportunity for all of you to grow your business right now and set yourself apart. This is about market share.
Yeah. And hey guys, I forgot to make this point. You know, we weren't sure who would want to take advantage of this offer versus not. And so we actually made this page for, I would say, most of you guys hidden. So, you know, if you go to virtual-buyer-program, right, and you get an error page that looks like this, here's how you fix it. It's really easy. If you do /config, C-O-N-F-I-G, this is going to take you to the back end of your Squarespace website, right? At that point, all you need to do, and let me just give this a minute and I'll show you guys. All you need to do is log into your Squarespace environment, which is going to show up a registration screen, right? I already logged in, so it won't show that, and it's going to take me right into the back end for you know, for Adam's website, right? Levine Team's website. Once you have logged in, we will automatically detect that, and now we are going to activate that particular page. So if I go back to virtual buying program, let me reload. Hold on. It will fix this page. So let me send out a separate video. I think there's probably one more dial that needs to be changed in order to get this working. So let me fix that for everyone, and this page will work. Let's keep going right now, Barry.
I was just answering questions.
Awesome. Okay, so the second change that we've made here, and this is already live on your home search website, and we will show you exactly how to use this, is we have heard from the community two things. The first is that in a lot of markets that still has open house on MLSs, which, you know, of course, a lot of MLSs have taken away the open house feature. If you go to any home that has an open house, we have actually put up new messaging on top of that open house, which we'll go over in a second. The other change that we have made is on every single listing on your website. This is a suggestion someone gave us from the Redfin website. We have added a special hyperlink at the bottom of schedule showing that specifically says schedule a private tour, right? So the way that that's going to work is if I'm on a listing, the first thing is if it has an open house, we are going to frame this as please confirm with listing agent if this is a virtual open house or an in-person one, right? That way, you know, it hints at the option of having a virtual open house. And at the very bottom of the schedule showing, but in a very prominent spot, we now have a button for schedule a private virtual tour, right? And in a little bit, we're going to show you some tools around how we're actually going to arm you with the ability to do a private virtual tour without actually having to go into the home. But if a consumer presses that button, we're going to actually show them new messaging. We're excited to set up a live stream tour of this home for you. Please provide your contact information below to schedule that tour, okay? And of course, the question itself, beyond their contact information, is all about scheduling a virtual tour. So that is a change that, you know, I would say most clients, when we surveyed on the website, asked for. And so we're making it as an optional, additional, you know, kind of call to action for all consumers on the website. Barry, anything else to add to this before I move on?
Just going back to the virtual, you know, virtual home buying, guys, everybody go into the chat. If it's not working for you, go into the chat. Brad was kind enough to share his URL, www.southernpartners.com/virtual-home-buying. And it is working. If you click on that link, G, if you want to go into chat, you can click on that link. It is working. And other folks are putting in theirs as well into chat. And you'll see that it's working. And if for some reason yours is not working, reach out to support today and we'll get it fixed.
Yeah, and sorry guys, the reason it wasn't working was because I put in the wrong URL. It's virtual home buying, not virtual buyer program.
You're still G, man. You're the mad scientist, sometimes absent-minded. Everyone's pointing out, by the way, your Ylopo University is backwards in your background. So
that is not my fault. Okay,
I
that's
know.
But yeah, sorry about that. Virtual home buying is the URL. If it doesn't work for some reason, just lock into your backend config, log in once, and it's going to start working. Sorry about that.
Everyone's posting their sites now. Everyone's pretty psyched. It's all working. All right, we got a lot more presents. Let's keep rolling.
Okay, all right, sounds good. So guys, the next one here is something that we spent a lot of effort on building out in the last 2 weeks, and I've got to give a shout out to the entire tech team. They really pulled together and got something that is fairly complicated to do done in like less than 7 days. It was a wacky, crazy idea that the Robert Slack team asked for, and we thought it was such a good idea that we have released it to everyone. Basically, the big idea here is that for those of you who are not able to do a live virtual tour by going to the property because you can't leave the house, or alternatively, you can't go to 5 houses to do virtual tours. It's not reasonable, right? So what we have done is we have taken all of the MLS photos of a listing. We have taken all of the description and MLS data about that home, and we've stitched it together into a 1.5-minute diva video that showcases the listing like a virtual tour. Okay, let me play one for you so you can see exactly what it looks like. I'm gonna just jump ahead a little bit here.
And G, how easy is this to create?
This is really easy. Now I'm gonna go through this step by step for you guys so you guys can see exactly how this is being created, okay? So this lives within your mission control dashboard, right? I'd say, in just being transparent, the one thing that we could not get done fast enough was to take this entire experience and bring it into Ylopo Stars so that your agents can create this individually, right? Right now, you need an admin or the team owner or someone that you give admin access in order to use this feature, right? The way that you access the feature is you go to stars.ylopo.com/dashboard, right? If you just give that URL right there at the very top, you are going to go inside your Ylopo platform. And once you go there, you're going to want to click this button, marketing, which is going to bring you into the marketing dashboard. Now, if you scroll down to the current campaign section, you're going to see that you are on the listing rocket section of Mission Control, right? From here, if you want to create a Diva virtual tour, what you're going to do is you're going to grab the MLS number of a listing. So I'm just going to grab this MLS number right here. You're going to go to the Create Listing Rocket option right here and click on Dynamic Video Ads, right? Once you click on that, all you have to do is drop the MLS number into the MLS number section. Click Find Listing. Oh, maybe this listing has expired. Let me. Oh, sorry. This is the wrong website. That's why. Let me just grab another listing right here. Okay, MLS number. Find listing. We're going to now take all of the content of the listing, right? So you can edit it if you think it's incorrect. And here's what you're going to do. On the video ad type, you always want to be in the active listing section, right? This home probably has an open house or has something scheduled, which is why it's default to open house. You're going to want to click on the active listing section. And at the bottom of all of the templates you can select, right, you're going to see free download virtual tour, free download virtual tour unbranded, which means it's not going to have your brand on it. You know, a lot of clients have asked for that feature. And we're going to have 4 different templates for you that all say free download, right? If you want to see a sample of what that tour looks like, just click on the sample button, and we're going to take you to an exact sample of what that advertisement looks like. Once you have selected one of these templates, right, you have the option of either choosing all of the photos associated with this video or use the Ylopo. My recommendation is going to choose the first 25 photos from that particular listing. Why 25? Well, the reason is because we looked at the average of listings across the country, and it was 25 listings the average. That's why we picked it. If you want to be precise and you click on select photo, you can literally go in order from 1 to 25, right, to select all of the photos. And you won't be able to launch until you have selected all the photos. Now, my recommendation for most clients is, you know, if you want to go fast because you're creating 5 of these, just use Ylopo recommendations. And then once you press the launch button, we're going to start creating this video, right? So let me press launch, and then we will, and your listing rocket will be created shortly. And it's going to take about 2 minutes per video because, you know, we're stitching together this really big file of the video for you, right? My recommendation is if you're going to do, say, 5 of these for a client to showcase 5 listings, then just go ahead and create all 5 because and check back in about 15 minutes and it's going to show up, right? Where is it going to show up? Under the listing rocket section, if you go to pending and off market, right? Because these are all listings that you're not advertising, you're going to see all of the free download videos that we have created on your behalf, right? And if you click on the download video option right here, we're going to go ahead and download that video into your desktop, right? And this video file is typically anywhere from 25 megs to 50 megs. So it is a bigger file because we want to have the highest quality videos possible. And then now that you've downloaded the video, you need to get it to the client, right? There's a lot of different ways that you can get it to the client. You could use Dropbox, you could use Google Drive, a lot of different solutions. The one that we like best, and I'm going to show you, are 2 things. The first is a website called WeTransfer.com. If you want to just get this file to your clients the fastest way possible, this is it, right? With WeTransfer, all you have to do is press this up arrow. It's totally free. You're going to select the video that we just created right here, right? You might want to, you know, rename that video later or not, right? And you're going to press open. At this point, if you press this little 3-dot icon here, you can actually say, do you want to email this link or do you want a transfer link, which means get a link for text messaging to send out, right? Typically, I like to do the text option. You grab a link, you can send it in your MailChimp email, you can send it out on Follow Up Boss, you can do a lot of stuff. If you want to use the email option, you can as well. My recommendation is to get a transfer link, right? And once you click on this option, just press Get Link. And now what this is going to do is process your video 100%, and it's going to give you a link that will allow you to send it to the client, right? So I'm going to give this a couple of seconds here, and I will show you what that link looks like once you have uploaded it. And when it's uploaded, boom, right there, you get a link that you can copy. This link has been copied to your clipboard, and now go into Follow Up Boss, text the client, do whatever you need to do to send out this link, right? So that's one way of doing it. Now, the only disadvantage of WeTransfer is that when you send the link to someone, so let me go to the link that was sent, the client is going to be asked to download the video, right? Now, that's not a hassle. They download the video. They can do it on their phone. They can do it on, desktop. They can view the video from there, right? It's very straightforward. But if you wanted to, what I just showed you is a 1-minute process, right? If you want to go spend the extra 2 minutes to upload this to YouTube, that is actually my recommendation for the cleanest way that you can send this out, right? So if you go to YouTube, first you're gonna have to create a YouTube account. If you don't have a YouTube account, you should get one because it's really easy and it's pretty important. And if you are on YouTube, you can press this button at the very top, create a video or more, right? And all you have to do is click on upload video. It's gonna take you to the upload video screen. I'm gonna go ahead and select the file that I just selected right here, right? And YouTube is going to start uploading the video, right? It's going to be very fast. And I can change the title right here to, the listing itself, right? So I'm going to put that in right there. And beyond that, I'm not going to do much else, right? The link to the video at this point, they already give you right here. It's going to take about a minute to process the video, but you can actually start sending this out right now. So I can just copy this link. Now I'm going to click on next. I need to select that this is not made for kids, and then any other details you might want to add. On the visibility side, the default is to be shown to the public. If you want it unlisted, meaning other people won't see it on your Facebook page or on your YouTube page, that's fine. I don't think there's anything wrong with making these videos public, but it's up to you. Once again, the link to the video is going to be right here. You can copy it. And as soon as you press save, the video is going to be processed, right? And, within the next 2 to 3 minutes, this actually took a lot less time. The video will be processed, which means that if you go to this link right here that you just copy and pasted, you're going to be able to see the video. Right? Let's see if it processed. There we go, it processed. And now this video is going to be accessible, right? So it's still processing, the video quality will improve, but by the time you send this link out, chances are it's gonna be done processing, right? So you've got 2 ways to send the video out to your clients. You can do it via WeTransfer, you can do it through YouTube, and a variety of other mechanisms.
Hey, G, a couple of people are concerned. They're pointing out, like, do you need permission from the listing agent to post a video of their listing, like on YouTube? Don't make them public. You would be advertising someone else's listing without their permission.
Absolutely. Yeah, great point. Yeah, if this is your listing, obviously you can make it private or public. If it's someone else's listing, make it unlinked or not visible. That way you don't get any
great suggestion from Jen. I would use Vimeo to share virtual tours, create a folder and share the folder link to the client. It's private to them. Or you can use, YouTube private. Yeah. We got to keep rolling. We have so many more presents, virtual tools and stuff. A lot of people are asking about like Matterport, and I don't have a $5,000 Matterport camera. We are going to address that. We're going to address 3D and explain some options to really drive that cost and ease if you want to start getting into some 3D stuff. Also, G, a couple of really cool questions as well you can address later. Like, all this stuff is going to help differentiate our clients from the competition, and they want to see more advertising around that, driving the point to consumers that the Ylopo agent has the tools to go virtual.
Yeah, absolutely. We are actually going to work on a series of Diva videos, just like we did earlier this month around coronavirus. The next wave of videos we're creating for you guys is going to be videos showcasing how you're using all of these virtual tours on your client's behalf for buyers and sellers. So that will be forthcoming. And I would say sometime in the next week and a half or so, we will have those videos for you. So that's a great point, Howard. All right, awesome. Barry, do you want to talk about the single property squeeze pages?
Yes, but before I do, those of you, as G was talking about, the downloading the videos, uploading them, and sending a link, if your eyes glazed over and you said to yourself, I'm not doing that, remember what I said in the beginning of this webinar. right now, if you decide to do business the way that you always have, the market will pass you by. Now, I don't know how long things will be like this, but I've decided, and I've been preaching to my agents over the last 2 weeks to pivot right now. Don't wait. So anyway, I just wanted to highlight that. Now, we really wanted to continue to give you guys tools that don't require marketing dollars. So basically, you know, you've got this amazing suite of tools that you know, you've got your IDX website, you've got your branded website, you've got, you know, RIA texting, behavioral texting, listing alerts. You've got all these amazing things. And the open house tool has been such a huge hit because it's empowering new agents to create their own business. And new agents on a team typically don't have a big budget. They're trying to generate business with free things. And so what we've done, if you think of the way an open house tool is set up, you just go to your branded site, put in the MLS number, select the agent, and then it creates an open house registration link. Well, what we've done is we've created a very similar process that for single property websites, you can actually put in an MLS number and you can create this landing page. And the idea behind it is it's only going to put the street name and the address on the landing page, and it's going to request their first name and their phone number to be able to see the price and all the photos. And I was very much inspired by Airbnb's, you know, it'll list how many people are looking at the unit, because we were looking at Airbnbs before the current crisis. And sometimes it would really motivate me. I'd say to my wife, like, hey, this one, look at all the people looking at it. We should book it right now. And so it was working on me. And so because of that, we're adding that kind of vibe to the single property website. And the good news is you just put in an MLS number, pick an agent, hit submit, and now you've got that single property website. So this is the landing page generator. Gee, if you could go to the next slide, we took the landing page generator concept to a whole nother level. And what we decided to do was to give you different searches. So for example, if you want to do a list of recently reduced homes or distressed properties or open house properties, you can do that now, and you can create different landing pages around different topics. And so, you know, if you think about all the different services that are out there that are $30, $59, $69 a month that only create landing pages, we have now, and it'll be rolling out over the next couple of weeks, we've generated this. You can cancel those services, save that money, and generate leads on your own by posting in Facebook groups, by doing Craigslist ads, you know, whatever you want to do, and to be able to use this. And yes, to answer Tabitha's question, these are evergreen links. And so it's always going to work for you. And it's incredible. So now you bring on a new agent, you say, this is how you use the open house tool. I want you posting all of our listings on your business page. I want you posting in the for sale groups that you're a part of, the garage sale groups that you're a part of. And your agents that don't have those dollars, they can get to work digitally, and they don't need any other services to do this. So this is going to be another huge feather in your cap, similar to how the open house tool works.
Awesome. Yeah. And just going back to the virtual tours concept, you know, I would encourage all of you guys to try running one of these videos today, and email us at product@ylopo.com if you have any questions about how to use it. And, you know, if you are starting to use it and you've had success, or you have suggestions, please post on the YSC so we can see that. We can continue to improve it. This is our first salvo of this tool, and this is our first salvo of designs. And so our ambition is to make this much better over the next couple of days and weeks. Awesome. Howard, you want to preview our integration with Astor Room?
Okay, guys. So I was just kind of, and I'm going through all the chats and all the questions. It's great. You know, somebody posted, you know, I just went online, I looked at the Matterport camera pricing, and it was basically, you know, $3,995. But then someone posted here, it's now $800. And then someone posted here, it's now $400. So I can't tell you real time what the Matterport camera price is, right? But we know it has traditionally been pretty expensive. The subscription, I think, is around $49 a month. hey, we love Matterport, we love Asteroom, we love Rico, we love whatever you want to use, guys. We're just giving you options. We're not affiliated with any of them. But we did talk to the owner of Asteroom because some of you guys were saying like, look, Matterport's a little bit too pricey for me on a subscription basis, the camera. So we are working on an integration with Asteroom, okay? It's a startup out of Silicon Valley, and that's kind of a glimpse of their site. It's some really cool, really cool stuff. Lower cost. It's really a much lower cost than Matterport, and the software. I think Barry can attest to it. We had we sent it right to Barry, right to G. They used it, and Barry, you can comment on it. But it was I think easier for you to basically shoot the video and upload it in Asteroom than in Matterport, right?
Yeah, I mean, I hooked up a lens with this certain kit to my phone. I stuck my phone on this little circle, and I put the circle on my phone in the middle of the room, and it spins in circles. It spins in 360 degrees, and then it uploads it into this app, and it's a 360 photo that you can virtually go through. And I was very surprised with A, how easy, and B, the quality. It's pretty significant.
Yeah, we have someone here that just chimed in and says, I have Asteroom and is the best because it uses your own phone and delivers an awesome video. So the thing about Asteroom is it's a kit. So you get a kit, and the kit is normally $90. We have a special code. I don't know if the code is up yet, and I don't know if the code is Ylopo or Ylopo client. We'll post this in the YSC. We probably could have a great thread in the YSC about, the Matterport people versus the Asteroom people, right? Versus the Rico people. There's a lot of other options, okay? But we basically did a little bit of arm wrestling with, with the folks. But remember, you don't have to buy a special 3D camera. It's a kit, all right? The problem is, guess what, guys? Because of the current crisis, there has been a total run on Asteroom. So good luck trying to get one shipped to you in the next day or two. Like it's going to be 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks, whatever. Get your orders in. We have nothing to do with them strategically. We have nothing to do with them financially. I don't care if you use Matterport, Asteroom, use whatever you want to use. We're going to show you, though, no matter what you're using, how to then use it with Ylopo and our marketing. Let's go to the next slide. Some other options, guys, on Amazon that were, basically told, by people I trust who use this, the Insta360 1X and the Rico Theta. So much lower price points, about 400, like sub $400. And these are great things. So Asteroom's a kit for your phone. These are separate 3D cameras. And then you, of course, got Matterport. Next slide.
Yeah. And just to kind of make this clear, if you already have a 360 camera, you can use the Asteroom software today, right? The great thing,
that's some questions coming up. If you have a 3D camera, you already have this camera. Like you can use Asteroom, and Asteroom has a 1 month. They have a 1 month free trial.
Yeah.
All right, go ahead.
Oh no, go ahead.
Yeah. And we arm wrestled with the owner, and we got 2 months. Okay. Again, we're going to have to post, try to go there, put in a promo code of either Ylopo or Ylopo client.
I think it's Ylopo-client, Howard.
Is that what they did? Okay.
Pretty sure.
Okay. Ylopo-client. Okay. And you're going to get 2 months. We doubled it, the trial, not 1 month. And you would get $10, I think, off the kit. And they're going to do a whole bunch of other stuff. So anyway, go ahead, G.
Yeah, well, the thing I want to say about Asteroom, the reason that we are presenting it here is because with a matter, we really think this is kind of the cheapest option on the market, right? Everyone can afford a $80, $90 kit. And what's nice about Asteroom is with a Matterport camera, because it is fully automated, you really need to be like a photographer to use it, right? Like in every single room, you need to record it 4 or 5 times, like in different spots. And then it takes you about an hour and a half to stitch together a bigger home with Matterport, right? Asteroom's process is a little different. They automate 70% of the 360 process, but then they have a big team that is offshore that is doing the final touch-ups, right? And so what that means is you can do an entire house in like 15 to 20 minutes instead of an hour and a half or more, right? So it's a time saver in addition to being a very cost-effective solution. So, the Astroom CEO has promised us that he is reserving 300 units of this technology for our clients in his next shipment. So we will post on YSC when those shipments are available. And, I would say late April is when you guys will be able to get your hands on this 3D tour.
And I am texting the CEO of Astroom right now, and he's going to get back to me right now on what the promo code is.
Awesome.
So we'll get back to you with that.
Well, and there's a couple of questions. That kit that's in the image is the least expensive one, and I would recommend having a tripod. There's a screw at the bottom of that white circle where the phone is, and it screws on the tripod. And we also have there are some areas that are hit harder than others. And so in the more severe crisis areas across the country, this is the type of thing I would feel comfortable mailing to a seller and say, look, let's list your home. I want you to use this technology and do a 360 tour using my software, and then you can mail the kit back to me. I wouldn't want to mail a $4,000 camera. I don't know about you guys, but that's just not my, but this would allow you to literally be virtual if you needed to be. So that's part of also the concept behind this.
Bam, Barry, I'm so glad you brought that up. And I'm going to go bam, okay? Because if I was picking up a significant listing, I'd go send them. Like if you sign the listing agreement with me and we make it a long agreement, I'll send you a $400 camera. My present to you, right? If that's a big enough listing, okay? I'll say, if I can get my hands on the kit with a tripod and I'm I'm like $100 on that, right? Bam, I send it to them. My gift, if you sign the listing agreement with me, keep it, right? If you want to do the whole send it back to me, you could do the send it back to me, right? But I think it's really cool. And then you could do a live Zoom with them and show them how to do it, right? Pretty easy. And again, what are you doing? You're building this relationship. You're showing that you're virtual. So we will do an upcoming webinar on, again, it's Astroom, but it's also if you have Matterport, if you have Ricoh, like, let's make it no matter what you have. If you have a 360 camera or if you have Astroom, we'll do a webinar on that. We've negotiated. So he says, okay, he misspelled the name of our company, guys. Try Yolopo.
That's the second time he's done that.
Ylopo.
That's the second time he's done that.
Yeah, unbelievable.
he millennial saying YOLO.
Yeah. Anyway, guys, try.
And I just
go ahead.
I just want to reiterate, Howard, if somebody here is saying, "Oh, I've never done it that way," again, I just really want to beat that point home. What you're deciding is you're going to wait until things go back to the way they were, and we can't control that. I know I'm a broken record, but I also know some of you need to hear this more than once to really let this sink in, because some of you are afraid to adopt this type of technology because it's out of your comfort zone. But Howard G., if you guys functioned within your comfort zone, would Ylopo be where it's at today?
Absolutely not. Yep.
Yeah, you guys live outside your comfort zone, and that's the name of the game. Okay, sorry, I'll stop.
I look forward to someday being comfortable, but we were like, things are too good, and we're like, okay, we need another crisis, right? This is like the 5th crisis of Ylopo, but it is true, Barry. I mean, it's the point, right? We what doesn't kill you gets you stronger, right? It makes you stronger. So that's true. So we will create deeper branding ads to promote your 3D tours, again, let's also, talk about the walking through, right? What Laura's client did, right? The walking through of the 3D tour and the Zoom and all that kind of stuff, right?
Yeah. Yep. Awesome. Okay, cool. So the next thing that we want to talk about is seller lead generation 2.0, right? We all know how important inventory is today. And so we are also in the very last processes of finishing our integration with HomeBot. For those of you who aren't familiar with HomeBot, it is a state-of-the-art seller nurture technology, and it has one of the best automated valuation models in the market, which means that it gives you a very accurate non-Zillow estimate of home values. And we have leveraged this technology to build out our next generation of seller lead generation, 2.0, just because we know how important this is, right? What we're doing is we're building the seller experience on top of HomeBot. And what we're currently finding and testing is that we are able to generate seller leads at a much cheaper cost than our existing experience. I mean, we're talking sub $10 of generating seller leads, which again, today is a great opportunity for you to nurture those listing relationships, even if they're not ready to list today, so that you get to work with them once the market turns, right? And all the leads that we generate will automatically be nurtured by our seller experience, remarketing, and automated ISA. So let me go ahead and show you what the new seller experience looks like. On the front end of our experience, we are going to give our consumers a very easy way to find out what their home is worth. And we are going to show them graphics of all of the features they're going to get with HomeBot. Once that consumer puts in the address, we are going to go ahead and capture their phone number first. We're going to give them a estimate of their home that's all blacked out, right, on the most important values. That way they have an incentive to register. And then on the second screen, we're going to capture their phone name, email address, and then we're going to start asking them questions, right? This is a very important nuance. One of the reasons we ask for their phone number first and then their full name and email address is because we've found that there's 50% more people that give us their phone number and then for whatever reason do not finish the registration by giving us their name and email address. Well, guess what? That's 50% more leads that our AI platform is able to text versus just getting their full name and email address. So it gives you 50% more leads, right? Once the consumer presses submit, we ask them some follow-up questions about what they're looking for. And finally, we bring them directly into the HomeBot experience where they're able to see the value of their home. The beauty of HomeBot is it's integrated with all the mortgage companies. So it actually pulls up their mortgage history, tells them what their net worth on their home is, and then gives them the ability to look at options of refinancing their home, which is your lenders are going to love, right? Of trading up into a new property, what is the price point they can actually afford, all of these different details. And when a consumer interacts with any of these data points, like they press the tune value button, we're going to know about it. We're going to let you know about it with priority alerts, and then we're going to automatically work those leads on your behalf with Riot and the automated ISA. And once a consumer has gone through this experience on a weekly or bi-weekly basis, we're going to be sending them an email digest that is going to update their estimated home value, and they're going to see a lot of other information that is going to drive increased engagement from you and ultimately help you nurture and close these sellers, right? One of the reasons we integrated with HomeBot is because they have seen stats that when they send out a seller nurture email, they get a over 50% open rate on that email. That's crazy. I mean, our current seller alerts gets about a 25% open rate, right? So you're going to double up the number of engagements from sellers just by having this process, right? So the new seller lead generation funnel we're actively working on, we're going to likely get it into beta in the next 2 weeks. And we're going to do a whole separate webinar on seller lead generation 2.0 and how to use HomeBot to nurture existing sellers. And so look out for that webinar probably around late April or first week of May. So Barry, you want to put all this together for everyone on the buyer and seller side?
Yes. All right. So we've been moving so fast. We've gone over all these features. We're all super excited. Okay, now's the time to execute. And like I always say, we do not have a problem coming up with new ideas in the real estate industry. We have a problem executing on the ideas that we're given or that we find. And so what I want to try to help you guys do is kind of bring it back down to earth. And when you get off this webinar, you've got a plan of action. All right, so for buyers, the first step is you need to generate new leads. You're going to be able to use our new landing page tool, and that'll be live in the next week or two, to generate buyer leads. You can continue to do the same ads that you used to, and they worked very effectively before, but now even more so. You can do virtual open houses. Don't be overwhelmed by this. You can either do a Zoom call like this, and anyone who comes in, you can share your screen the way G is, but your screen can be a walkthrough of the property. Or you can walk through the home with your camera and upload it to Facebook as a watch party. Both are easily doable, and you can set yourself apart that way. Let's be
really clear here, guys. So because, right, a lot of different rules, people are comfortable with different things, and everyone is supposed to be staying home, right? So there's a lot of variations on the theme. You can literally, send them the kit, send them the camera. If they don't want anyone in their home, they can shoot it, right? We can create the 3D program. Now you do a Zoom open house, right? Virtual tour, one-on-one virtual tour, open house, whatever. And that video is playing in the background, right? That video is playing in the background.
That's right.
Nobody ever went to the house. Or if they're comfortable leaving their house and Barry goes to their house when nobody's there, Barry can shoot it, right? So there's so many different iterations of this. We give you the tools. You do what you are allowed to do. You do what the seller wants you to do. You do what you feel comfortable doing. You could actually, again, if there's no one in there, you could do the virtual tour yourself, right? So there's a lot of different ways to kind of do this. Barry, I don't want to cut you off. You're going to keep going. This is crazy, but I got to read this, man. I got to read this. This came in. It's from David. Holy moly. While on this webinar, I just got a showing request notification. It's actually a broker from Georgia. I'm in Miami that wants to start sending us referrals and has one right now. I asked how she found us. She said, I actually was searching via Google and love your virtual home buying page. LOL. I didn't even know we had that page yet. Bam! Go ahead. Love it.
Yeah, you can't get any better than that, Howard.
Sorry, man.
So with the lead capture, it's less about doing all of this. So don't necessarily go wide and do all of it. Pick something and just do something. Don't do your business. Don't run your business the way that you always have. If you focus on reaching people with digital marketing, whether you're using the landing page tool, whether you're doing virtual open houses, if you're using your tools from the comfort of your own home, you are going to generate business. There's more people at home right now than ever before. With lead nurture, send push listings and let your leads know, hey, there should be a virtual showing button when you click on this listing. If you want me to send you a virtual tour, let me know. And now you don't have to freak out if they say yes, because some of you are freaking out. The Raya sends them a text and said, would you like a live stream tour? And the person says yes. And you say, where do I get the tour? Well, now you're going to have this in Mission Control where you can download a video if there's no other videos available. You can also pitch your virtual buyer program. I had a prospect email me the other day that said, hey, Barry, I'm waiting for this to change. I said, oh, here's a link to my virtual home buying program. You should take advantage of this because nobody else is doing this right now. And then going on the search site together via Zoom, share your screen, right? You're in the Zoom call, share your screen and go through the MLS or your search site together. And then lastly, for appointments, instead of making the close, let's go look at the showing. If you're not allowed to do that, I've been recommending to my agents, have the buyer send you a Facebook message and say, we don't have to be Facebook friends. It's going to go in my other folder. But once I respond to your Facebook message, we can video chat. Everybody's got that Messenger app on their phone now, and it's just an easy, seamless way to do a video chat. You don't have to get into iPhone or Android and all that stuff. You can also do the Zoom walkthrough. Huge value add. You've got this 3D tour on your screen. People come on the Zoom link, they click it for the virtual open house, they see your screen, and you say, let's walk through the home together. It is an incredible moment to grow your business. If you could go to the next one. So that's your lead capture, lead nurture, and getting appointments for buyers with a virtual approach. With sellers, what we're going to be doing is we're going to be running new types of seller ads that we've been testing for, 2 weeks. I've generated about 80. And We're leveraging all of the content with HomeBot, with seller remarketing. We're going over and giving it to these homeowners. And so over the next 2 to 3 weeks, as we roll this out, you need to be positioning yourself as having something of value that nobody else in your market has. And I'll go over this more when we launch it, but I've actually created a generic video for HomeBot where I basically act like I'm looking at HomeBot on my computer and I say, oh, you know, I saw you contacted me and I was doing this for another client. Let me show you what I could send you. Let me know if you like it. And that's been crushing it. So with the home value add, make sure you're giving them content, you're giving them information. With the lead nurture piece, you know, the seller experience that's currently on your site will become HomeBot later. But right now, the seller experience gives them the number of buyers looking for a home like theirs. That is still not available anywhere else. You can't go to anybody else's website and find the number of people searching for a home like theirs. But on our website, we can. And so make sure you're bringing that up and you're showing them via Zoom, doing a screen share. Look how many buyers I have for your home. There's a way that you can pull this up for them via your computer, show them your screen. And we take the approach, and I wrote Raya this way to say, you know, I'm sure you're not ready to sell yet, but isn't it interesting how many people are looking for a home like yours? And it gets their wheels spinning. And then we say, we can actually sell your home digitally without having showings. This is something that we've been doing for other clients. Would you like to hear more? And we've had sellers actually say yes. We've listed 3 or 4 in the last 7 days. So it's working. This is working. Raya's offering virtual listing programs as well. And then finally, don't overthink the appointment with the seller. Do the same presentation, the same seller report pull from Mission Control, and the same seller remarketing, seller marketing tool that after you run a Ziva ad, in the same way you would present it to them, just share your screen. Go to Zoom right now, create a free, not right now, but right after this webinar, create a free account and learn how to converse and speak and teach by sharing your screen. You will not regret this because nobody else is doing this. Other agents aren't just filing for unemployment, they're acting unemployed. And so this is when you get to gain market share because other agents have decided they're gonna wait until things go back to the way they were. You, on the other hand, have the benefit of this community, and we're telling you this is one of those moments where you can gain market share. You've always wanted it, now you can get it. All right, I'm done.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. Next slide. I'm gonna show it. No, up. Want to show it? Okay, so you feel, I hope everyone feels comfortable that we've sort of summed up, right, how to use all these tools on the buyer side, how to use them all on the seller side. Remember, there's other tools out there like Zoom and, you know, and FaceTime and all of that other stuff to create all these connections. And I want to see when you guys iterate on this and do great things, please, please, please post it in the YSC for all of us. This is a village. This is a community, right? You know, we're all going to rise up together. Okay. So the last present here. So Kiwi, did you want to talk about that? We can see your video. You got to unmute. All right. The world famous Kiwi.
Yeah. So next Thursday, so this time next Thursday, we're going to do a deep dive into the branded sites. Some of our clients have just done incredible updates and optimization of key pages that I want to show everyone how to be able to do that. So particularly around the single agent pages, there's a lot you can add in there. So all of your agents has beautifully sort of pimped out single agent pages with all the IDX in there. And then also single property, sort of landing pages or blog pages which promote search terms that people may be looking for. So for example, you know, if you're downtown Philadelphia, you might want to show the top 10 high-rise buildings with lofts for sale in downtown. And you can list out all the buildings, and you can actually list out all the real listings from your IDX inside that blog post. So it's a combination of content that people are searching for, along with properties in real time, which drive people back into your search experience. So it generates leads for you. As people are searching on Google, they see a top 10 list of this, or a homes for sale between 500,000 to 750,000 on golf courses. You can get very, it's called long tail, sort of niche type searches. So I'm going to show you how to create those pages, embed all the listings in it so that you can generate a lot more search results through SEO.
Hey, Kiwi, can you do me a favor? I want to reward the 771 people that are still on this webinar. I'm serious, okay? If they stuck on this remember I started at the beginning, if they stuck on this to the very end with us, okay, I would like these people to be first in the queue, right? We're going to make it available to everybody, but it's going to take time, right? We have limited, resources to get to everybody. But Kiwi, let's figure out the 772 people, right, which went up, that are on this right now, okay? They are the first in line, okay? Because they are here to learn, right? And then we'll bring it to everybody. We're good with that, Kiwi?
Yeah, I just got to figure out how to do that.
We have the registrations, right?
We do have the registrations. Okay, yes, I can cross-reference.
Yep. Let's go to the next slide. So I every single time on this prez, guys, you saw that gold present was something that, G and Barry, guys, these guys have not been sleeping. I'm telling you, these guys, thank you to G and to Barry and to Kiwi, for sure. Kiwi, our whole tech team, our CS team, everybody has been working twice as hard. And every time you saw one of those presents was something that we didn't take 6 months to do. These guys did it. Some of this was 14 days, some of it 7 days. As you can see, I'm like negotiating with the Astor Room guy, like on the call. This stuff's going down real time. The present to me was from Jennifer Hoskins. I didn't get permission from Jennifer. The present to me and G and Barry and the Ylopo team, she just posted it. She said, you guys and gals at Ylopo are amazing. I'm so glad I jumped on board with you in 2020. Best business decision I've made in the last 7 years. Thank you. I'm going to start crying. I'm an emotional guy. But it's really meant a lot to me because I know how hard everybody in our team is working. We're exhausted, right? You guys are exhausted. This is really, really challenging times. But I guarantee you, Ylopo is going to be stronger once we come out of this. You guys are going to be stronger once you come out of this, for sure. Okay? It's a village. It takes a village. It takes all of us. So everybody, check your YSC every day. Post your success stories. When you post a success story in the YSC, you're not bragging. What are you doing? Okay? You're not tooting your own horn. You're not bragging. What you're doing is you are motivating others in the success community. They're seeing your success, and it's registering to them. I got to get off my butt. I can do this too. So please post your success communities. Those are my parting shots. Barry, G, what else you guys want to say? Bring it home.
Go ahead, Barry.
I would just say, look, we've all been waiting for those moments to grow our business. And if it was easy, everybody would do it. And when everyone's going right, they're hunkered down, they're acting unemployed, they've convinced themselves no one's searching for a home when the data says otherwise. So they're over on the right. We need to pivot. We need to go left. And that means going outside of your comfort zone, doing things you've never done, leveraging technology in a new way, and advocating for it. And if you'll do that, what you're going to watch is you're going to then come out on the other side of it and have massive gains. My family's company was born out of 2008. That's why and when we got our start. And now, $4 million a year, GCI, all these amazing things came out of destruction. And so I'm telling you guys, listen to me. I've been through it. Do it. Apply it. Leverage it. Run with it.
Awesome. And guys, for any of you that says, hey, this isn't working, or how do I do this, etc., just remember, you can always email support@ylopo.com and they will help you troubleshoot this. If you have recommendations, changes that you think are interesting, post that on the YSC. that is where we're going to see it, and we can prioritize it. We can think about how to improve it. Love to see more feedback as you guys are using this about what else we could do that's different, especially on the virtual tours. Last PSA is our goal is to have a webinar every single week that's going to add value for you guys. And we're going to, at the very least, release something new to the community every 2 weeks that is going to help you guys grow your business and get through the next couple of months here, right?
And also, let us know in the YSC before I don't cut you off, G, but let us know in the YSC, the Ylopo Success community, if you want us to run a webinar with a tax legal expert to help you with all the stuff that's happening with, unemployment insurance and the disaster recovery loan, the paycheck protection program, all this stuff. I've gotten like a PhD in the paycheck protection program in the last week. So if you want a special closed door community, Ylopo, ask the expert, break it down. It's crazy confusing. There's tons of stuff coming out there in the stimulus bills. Let us know. We'll put that together for our community as well. G, back to you.
Yeah, absolutely. That was it, man. This was great. Thank you so much for the over 700 people. We had 900 people at one point.
We still have 730. Eric is like, this is awesome. Thank you. Feel the community. It means a lot to our biz and our family. Sorry, Howard, but you do support the Crimson football. Our son is a senator, and Ylopo helps support that. Harvard versus Yale. So he's giving me a jab right there. It's pretty funny. So just remember 2 mantras, guys. Remember 2 mantras, which is number 1, what we do now during this crisis lives in eternity, right? So I'm spinning that little gladiator line in the beginning, right, of that movie. What we do now for you, we hope you guys remember for a long time. But what you guys do now for your community, for your consumers, right, will live in eternity for them as well. And then number 2, cultivate today, conquer tomorrow. All right, guys, peace out. We love you.